Hi and welcome back to my film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And we're going to have a look at a British comedy drama based on true events today, which we usually do quite well in, don't we? Usually put these together quite well. We're going to have a look at something called The Lost King. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. I do everything film and TV dramas. I do information stuff on what's at the cinema, what's on streaming, etc., what's on Freeview UK TV. So if you can give us a follow, it'd be great to have you on board. And yes, if you do get a chance, it's nice. It's nice to get views, of course it is, but it's also nice to get a little thumbs up as well. So if you can just press that little button for me, I try and inform and entertain where I can on these things. So join me today, and I would love to know your views on this film as well if you get to watch it. I don't think I'll be putting you off watching it anyway today. That's for sure. It's a 12A certificate, 108 minutes. The Lost King is a British comedy drama directed by Stephen Frears, who I quite like, and written by Steve Coogan, I like, and Jeff Pope, I both I like. So it all bodes well, certainly, based on who's put it together. A fictionalisation of the story of Philippa Langley. Yes, who's Philippa Langley, I hear you say? Well, she's the woman who initiated the search to find King Richard III's remains under a car park in Leicester. Yes, I was nearby there back in August when I was went to watch a Community Shield game at the King Power Stadium in Leicester. So I had a trip to where that was. So I didn't go on the tour or have a look around the little museum that's there, but I did went to see the location and the statue, etc., etc. So this is available to buy actually. So if you like it, this is available to buy at the end of December, December the 31st, $9.99 on DVD. I've no Blu-ray details at all. So if you fancy it and you want to buy it, it's out to buy. Rotten Tomatoes audience, so this is Joe Public, 74% positivity. So that's a good sign. That's 3.9 out of 5, so 7.8 out of 10. We'll take that. Internet Movie Database, not quite as high, but still good, 6.6 out of 10. With an 85% positivity. So of all the people who watched it, 85% said, yeah, it was good. So I'm surprised that score's only 6.6. It could have been a little bit higher, but everyone's obviously scoring it around the 6-7 mark as opposed to the 8 or 9 mark. Film stars Sally Hawkins, Steve Coogan, Mark Addy, and Harry Lloyd, and some others as well. And it was released in the United Kingdom on the 7th of October 2022. So I'm not too sure in your territories. It may be on limited release abroad. You have to check your territory wherever you are. Let's have a look at the critics. The public seem to like it. So what about the critics? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, that people like to go on and have a look at, is 67% positivity. That's good. 39 reviews. An average rating of just 6 out of 10, though. So not quite as high as the public. So no surprise. 26 fresh and 13 rotten. So obviously 2/3 to 1/3. And the site's consensus says the movie is curiously bland compared to the remarkable real-life story it dramatises. But Sally Hawkins' performance saves The Lost King from feeling like a royal disappointment. I wouldn't say it was bland at all. I mean, Sally Hawkins' role in it is key to the whole film, but I wouldn't say the story was bland. I thought it was interesting. They made a fantasy element to it as well. And yeah, it sort of worked for me. I think they've been a bit cruel with that consensus. Metacritic, the other Metacritic site we look at, uses a weighted average, assigned a score of 57 out of 100. So again, not quite getting to the 6 out of 10 mark. That was based on just 14 critics, though. And it scored anywhere between 40 as the lowest, so it's not a total disaster, and 80 is the highest. So let's name and shame some of the critics who commented on this. We'll go over first to Mark Commode from The Observer here in the UK. He said, whatever its inconsistencies, The Lost King is an underdog story that proves a perfect vehicle for Hawkins' reliably winning screen presence. I can't disagree with that, Mark. Kevin Mayer from The Times here in the UK said, the film in the end is blandly efficient, that word blandly again. It plods along, entirely free from intrigue or tension, only steps away at all times from its own inertia. Again, Kevin, I think Kevin's been a bit mean on it, and Kevin might not be in the mood, but it does plod. Yes, it does plod, but it never got boring for me watching it. John Nugent from Empire magazine, let's see what John says. Warmly funny and historically curious. Sally Hawkins' spirited, humane performance helps overcome a slight lack of dramatic tension. Yeah, it does all sort of based on Sally Hawkins, I think. This doesn't it? She's the cog that makes everything work. The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw, he was on Metacritic. He scored it 40 out of 100, and said it's a fascinating story, but the resulting film insists on a kooky relatability that isn't really there. A misfire. Again, didn't like it, did they? But Variety's Owen Gleiberman, he gave it 80 out of 100. He did like it. He said, a richer, stronger, and more moving piece of work than Philomena. I would agree with that. A historical detective story that carries the kick of a true life Da Vinci Code. All right, a little bit. I think Variety's Owen Gleiberman's gone a little bit over the top compared to the other people. Right, on to my thoughts for what they're worth. And I am going to give this a very healthy score of 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Yes, Sally Hawkins was the standout and dragged this kicking and screaming over the finish line with a basic likability in the role. There's not much, to be honest with you, and I did mention I did like these people early on. There's not much that Fraser and Coogan get involved in that I don't really like. I like most of their stuff, in all honesty. Doesn't mean I won't be critical if I don't like it, but I just do. I just like their stuff. If the names Fraser and Coogan are involved, and to some extent Pope as well, I have to be honest, I do usually enjoy their stuff. And credit to Coogan, whose character in the film itself is also a nice foil for the outstanding Sally Hawkins, who is brilliant in this, I think. The story, the sort of drama, really, that I think the British or the UK film industry, do very, very well based on true events. We do it very well. And I watched that one recently. I can't remember the name of it now. When it was about the player in the Open, wasn't it? He kept entering the Open even though he was useless, and that was a great film. And it's just the sort of film that if it's a British financing or British involvement in any way, I think we do very, very well. And this is very similar, and aided in this one by an exceptionally strong cast as well, which isn't always the case in some of these British-based dramas. So that was very good. There you go, a very good, highly recommended film, as I said, out to buy on DVD on the 31st of December at $9.99. I've no Blu-ray details at all at the moment, but maybe a Blu-ray version. Anyway, let me know what you think if you get to watch this. That'll be great to hear from you, and I'll be interested to see what you think. But one of my favourites of the year. Then we're getting towards the end of the year now, aren't we? But one of my favourite British ones, anyway, of this year. Thanks for watching. Until we meet again, I ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.